Hey everybody. I just finished reading the new book from John Peterson, Game Wizards, the epic battle for Dungeons and Dragons, and that's what I want to talk about today on Greyhawk Rocknard. So this is a book that covers the kind of the legal and financial behind the scenes corporate stuff that went into behind the scenes of Dungeons and Dragons from its earliest inception through the first edition era. And it's in that respect, John Peterson is continuing his great tradition of being the preeminent historian of Dungeons and Dragons, with like his other books, The Elusive Shift, how role-playing games became role-playing games essentially, as opposed to war games, and the monumental Playing at the World, which is basically a history of role-playing games in general. I mean, it's just amazing the amount of detail that he goes into in all of his books. The first thing I need to say about Peterson's work in general is that he really takes an historian's point of view in approaching the books. Everything he does is footnoted there. He's working off of primary sources. In this case, he's working off of a lot of internal TSR newsletters and actual memos. He's got copies of the actual stock certificates that were issued way back when. He's working off of contemporary magazine accounts, not only in Dragon and Avalon Hills General, but he's got access to all kinds of obscure journals and fanzines and magazines and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of stuff. I lived through this era, and there's stuff here I've never heard of. So he's just impeccable when it comes to his research. He's done primary interviews with primary sources and stuff. He's just the research is top notch in all of his stuff. And as I say, this book covers the history of Dungeons and Dragons from a legal and corporate point of view. So he starts off with, the very earliest partnership between Gygax and Arneson. He delves into the stock options, the agreements that were written between them, and all the different ramifications of some of the corporate behind-the-scenes stuff that went into ultimately the breakup between Gygax and Arneson, and ultimately Arneson's lawsuit against TSR for what he felt was revenue that he was owed, and credit. And in this, I'm constantly amazed at just how much primary source material there is to find on this kind of stuff. I mean, you'd think it would be kind of just the stuff that, nobody keeps notes on this sort of thing, but no, they exist. They're still there. The memos and everything, and it really paints a picture of it's not really complimentary to either Gygax or Arneson. Arneson comes across as being rather petty and petulant, whereas Gygax comes across as being petty in his own way, in a different way, and not petulant, but kind of a glory hound. And I say this as I'm pretty much on Team Gygax myself, from if one must be on a team, but based on the writings that we have cited in here, neither of them comes across as being particularly sympathetic characters. But the beautiful thing about this book is it doesn't just stop with that part of it. It goes on to the corporate structure and the corporate behind the scenes process of TSR itself, and things that that he talks about early on in the book, about stock options being worth $300 and so forth like that. That stuff all of a sudden takes on a new importance much later on in the book, because now those stock options that weren't exercised and are still hanging around, now they become very important keys in determining who's going to have the controlling votes in the board of directors. And the bank has come in and they're insisting that they have to cut people off of staff, and there's information about the revenues and things like that. All this really, to me, it's very fascinating behind the scenes stuff. And ultimately, it goes into that fateful day when there was a board meeting and Gary Gygax gets voted out of the company, essentially. And it also goes into detail about the issue of the copyrights of, and not only that Gygax insisted that all of his stuff had to hold his personal copyright, but why. There was an actual reason that he insisted on that that's gone into detail in here. So, even for somebody like me who I lived through a lot of this stuff, so I kind of knew in a broad sense what was going on. But this book really allows you to find out why it's going on and exactly what was the mechanism that led from A to B to C to D that led to a particular outcome in a board meeting or in a court case or something like that. And in that respect, this book is absolutely invaluable. I didn't find it dry at all, even when it's talking about stock options and copyright precedents and things like that. Peterson has a way of just making it very accessible, very understandable, even to a layman like me. So I can't recommend this book highly enough. It's let's see, where does it have? It's $24.95 is the retail. I'm sure you can get it discounted at Amazon or Barnes and Noble or something like that. I will leave an affiliate link down in the below, so that you can get a copy if you want. I would recommend getting the copies soonish, because apparently his books tend to go out of print. So for example, you can't get Playing at the World anymore on Amazon. Apparently, only used copies, at least last time I checked. So do pick this up. It is, in my mind, if you're interested in the history of the game, this is absolutely well worth it. If you like this video, you want to see more like this, please hit the like, hit the bell, subscribe, leave a comment. If you've read this book or any of his other books, please chime in below. What do you think of it? If you've lived through some of this stuff here, you might want to share a reminiscence or two. Please do so. And hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful day.